Hello, everyone. Welcome into post-show headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas, my man John Kincade. I miss Friday. How was Friday with Gunner?
Friday was really good. Gunner wore the same Outcast T-shirt that he wore the last time he did it. So
did people point that out?
He didn't. Yes, some people did point that out. So how about that?
By the way, I saw on our YouTube feed. Shout out YouTube. Love you guys so much. Especially the guy goes, "Man, did Andrew roll out of bed this morning?" Yes. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not like...
You did look a little tired today.
Yeah.
You said you were tired.
I had a long weekend, but like...
It's okay.
What, like, I'm sorry that I'm not wearing a button down and slacks.
Not button down and slacks. Don't take it to that level. He just wanted a little face wash and your hair a little more groomed.
I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah, that's why.
What do you want me to do? I'm wearing a hat.
Okay.
All right.
Taking it personal.
Yes, always.
That's
all right,
it.
what do we got? You got something Phillies related? After a great weekend that we just had?
Yeah. A great weekend of watching Weston Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How could a player make it to the major leagues like Weston Wilson and have such poor fundamentals as far as to just understand how to track a ball and play baseball? I don't understand it, and no one can explain it to me. Because you're talking about playing the game at the highest level.
Yeah,
you're a major league baseball player. How can it be? I don't understand it. I can understand a baseball player losing it defensively, like Trea Turner, who literally can't. I guarantee you high school baseball players could field that ball that he screwed up yesterday. But I can understand that. Players boot balls all the time. It's a mental thing.
Here's what I'm trying to find out. Because respectfully to Weston Wilson, I've not been following the lifelong
career.
Journey of Weston Wilson. Was he primarily an infielder in minor leagues?
Well, he was an infielder and he was a butcher. It was terrible.
Remember
they had him at third base last year and he blew it?
That's the thing. Third base, right? I think he was an infielder.
Okay.
Majority.
But are you kidding me?
What it is?
But are you kidding me? Like, he didn't even know how to track a ball in the outfield?
Let's see.
He's played in the outfield.
I'm on pro baseball. I'm on the minor league reference page.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was an infielder his whole life. They really only started getting him into the outfield.
When?
Let's see.
How many winters has he had to work on it?
On a semi-consistent basis.
Okay.
Oh, never. Dude, he played...
Because,
So he comes up in 23, right?
Right.
He played 21 games in the outfield in 2023.
Okay. Then he had a whole offseason to work on it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I got. I don't understand.
He could just not be a good outfielder.
No, but he doesn't even know fundamentally how to approach it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Baseball player?
But that's what I'm saying.
He hasn't observed it enough to know.
But that's what I'm saying. He might not be a good outfielder. Now, he doesn't mean he's a good infielder either. But that might be why.
We saw last year.
To answer your question, I'm trying to answer it from a legitimate reason. He might just not be an outfielder.
That is terrible.
And that's the Phillies' wrongdoing to put him out there. How many times does Nick Sirianni say, Kevin Patullo, I want to put the guys in the best position to succeed.
Right.
They're not putting him in the best position to succeed. Now,
they tried him in the infield last year. It was terrible there.
And that's why he was 30 when he came up, right?
Terrible.
Great story when he hit the home run on his opening.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, what else you got?
Red dress. Over, under, be honest with me. Remember his wife?
It's bad that I know exactly what
Remember the red dress?
Yes,
that was memorable. It was the most memorable thing about his first game.
No, the home run is pretty memorable.
Well, the red dress for me. Red dress, home run. Over, under, be honest. Be honest. 10 quarters of complete beginning to end viewing NBA Finals. Over, under.
Me?
Will you watch it?
I'll watch majority of it. It's
10 quarters over under for the entire series. You will watch?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
around the number where I'm at.
The only thing that's tough for us is like Thunder Pacers is not. I'm gonna stay up until 11 o'clock.
I think the pace of play is gonna be wild.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm really excited for this series. I think the Thunder win, and I think it might be like 5 or 6. But I will watch the first. I'll tell you this. I will have the game on the first half of every single game this series. If I'm getting tired, I'm not going to force myself to stay up through it.
Well, that would be 8 then. Maybe it depends if it goes 4.
Oh, yeah, if it's a sweep, which
you never know.
It is.
But it's just, I'm wondering because they are predicting that it could be one of the worst finals ever.
I thought these playoffs have been great.
I think there's been really exciting stuff.
Like these NBA playoffs.
I thought the Pacers Knicks the other night was exciting.
But yeah, oh my God, that entire series was exciting.
I really cried at one little tear when seeing the Knicks go down. Really terrible.
I'm sure
seeing the Nova Knicks.
So sad for them. All right, what's your slice of life sports?
Okay,
question?
do you ever find yourself believing just personally, that you as a fan care more about the outcome of games than the players who played in the game?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Expound on that.
I'm paying to go to the game. They're being paid to play the game.
Okay.
I was a Phillies fan before they played for the Phillies.
Okay.
Eagles, Sixers,
sure,
Flyers. Sure. Imagine going to a game, right? We talked about it today. The people that went to the game Saturday, what do you do when it's 12-1? Imagine you go to that game as a fan and they're down 12-1 and you're like, I just spent my hard-earned money. I brought my kids here. A hot dog, soda, and ice cream is another
$30.
Yeah, probably more than that. And a Phillies player, let's say Brandon Marsh. I'm not picking. Let me say somebody that people.
He's swiping right.
No, somebody goes
DMing somebody.
All right, boys, we got one tomorrow. Let's get over this. Let's get ready to play tomorrow. There is that, and by the way, that's a mentality you should have, right? Because you're going to go crazy if you're as a player killing yourself after every single game. If you're like, all right, we got a game tomorrow. So I think baseball definitely.
What about football?
No.
I don't believe so either.
Because football is such a hard battle.
Basketball, hockey, I believe it absolutely.
Yeah.
I observed it in hockey.
Yeah.
I observed
you know what? It's the longer seasons.
I observed the Russian players back when I worked and was embedded with the team as a broadcaster. The Russian players, they could get their teeth kicked in 6-1 and they were getting themselves dolled up in their suits.
Going out for a party. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think football.
And the American players or the Canadian players would be sitting there in the locker room seething over a loss. And the Russians, they were ready. Where's the party?
I think the longer seasons is a part of it too. And plus football, it might not be as physical now, the in-between games, but think like 10, 15 years ago, the week leading up to a game.
Oh, yes.
How much of a beating you're taking, and then you get to the game itself, and then you lose. So I think football is the one where we as fans can't feel, even that most diehard Eagles fan.
You're not feeling the physical.
Right, exactly.
At all.
All right, so I was on the beach this weekend with a couple of my boys.
That's why you're so disheveled today.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
They only had an outdoor shower.
All right, so how the weather's not great.
No, it's the coldest start. We're having a cold year.
Are you
of your lifetime?
I'm fortunate that my parents live down there.
Mm-hmm. You're spoiled rotten.
So I can go down whenever, and even if I go down, the weather's not great. Like I have a house that I can hang out at.
You can do all these
My dad's in the Elks. What's the bare minimum temperature and like weather experience for you to say, all right, honey, let's get in the car and let's go
to the shore?
Because the beach was dead this weekend, and yet we had 2 great beach days because it was
70.
It was 70. It was a little breezy, but the sun was out. There was some times where the cloud coverage was there.
Well, we're now when we go to the beach, we go to a resort hotel. We go to a hotel.
Yeah, but I'm saying day trip. I'm not saying.
But if you're going
day
trip, 65
bare minimum because it was 65, and there were
65. If you tell me it's 65 and sunny, we will absolutely do the day trip to the beach.
We were running post routes.
We
were running every single route on the route tree because we had all the space.
That's awesome.
I showed Coop how to do the tush push.
See?
Because there was a truck that drove by and it left a huge mound of sand. So I was like, buddy, you want to do the tush push? So I had Coop doing the tush push.
Well, see, that works.
He was jumping over the pile. We did leaps. We did all kinds of stuff.
It wasn't offside?
No.
He's doing it.
And it was safe. There was no injuries. Just like the tush push in real life.
Tell Roger Goodell that.
All right, lastly. So we have a group of kids here. Ray's got a group of kids here.
Yes.
Figuring out life in radio.
And we're going to go speak to them, right?
And we're going to go speak to them. Radio side. How do you talk to different age groups about real life stuff? And the reason why I ask that is if you teach at Temple about radio.
Right.
You can probably be a little bit more serious about there are concerns and difficulties in the radio world.
Sure there are.
We all know that.
I've never heard about them here at Beasley Media.
Never.
But I hear that there are other places. Why is he laughing?
I don't know why he's laughing. Never. Right? We've had no issues here.
Correct.
But you know that there are difficulties in radio and a lot of media, right?
Yes.
How do you approach that with a high school kid?
You tell a kid to open up his eyes going into it. And that media is evolving. And being your own personal brand and seeing how that evolves, that radio is not going to be the same 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. So be on the upside of the curve by learning how to be a content creator yourself, learning how to be able to master all the technical aspects of it, and do all those things. So
I always try to push the message of like, look, you got to really love this to do it.
Right.
Because you can't like stroll your way through this.
No.
Like, the amount of times I slept at this radio station, like when I was first making my way up.
I slept on Dylan's couch.
Yes,
this year.
This year, yeah. This
due to a snowstorm.
This past football season, right?
Yes, they offered me a hotel room, but I looked out for the company's bottom line.
That's good work by you. Not that you need to.
Yeah.
So, like, I just don't understand. Like, I'm trying to figure out, how do I talk to a high school kid about this?
You be honest. You talk to them as if it was your own kid. So would you be honest with your own kid?
Yes.
Then be honest with the kids. That's what you do.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. I think we go do that.
We're going to scare some high school kids.
I think people need to like and subscribe.
You have to do that.
And be a part of that. Because you see, this is where the kids are. The kids are on the YouTube. Do you realize, other than Disney, YouTube is now the #2 television network in the world?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And we're part of it.
We're part of it.
With
Thank
Kincade
you for being a part of us as
and
well.
I don't know why Dylan was laughing.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow on the air, and of course, post your lines again. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.